Hello YouTube, my name is Spooktopus Joey, and I tried, alright? I worked very hard on these Halloween decorations and this scary kind of lighting. I mean, just look at my shadow. It's so ominous. Anyway, I decided to make a Halloween video this year. A real one this time, hopefully not one that I'll regret making in 2 years. But anyway, I don't have very many scary games besides those ones, so today I'm gonna do something a little bit different and review a cartoon. Hold on just a second. But I'd like to give you a friendly word of warning. It may shock you. It may even give you writer's block. Yeah. Making Fiends is a web cartoon created by Amy Winfrey that eventually became a TV show on Nick. It was created in a studio that looks like this, according to the website's FAQ, which has a lot of questions that I have a feeling are not frequently asked. Do you know where I could buy a weasel? No. Oh, I see. It's because these aren't frequently asked questions. They're fiendishly asked questions. Okay. The web series lasted 20 episodes, each 3 to 6 minutes long, but the TV series only ran for 6 full-length episodes, each consisting of 3 8-minute episodes. First I'm going to talk about the web series, then I'll talk about the TV series. The first thing you'll notice about the web series is the animation. Some people might see it and be like, "Zoom, that's ugly!" But I am not some people. It's not great looking, but it's an art style. It knows what it wants to do and does it consistently. I don't know what the 7 frames per second is all about, though. It kinda looks like South Park, but if everything were a paper cutout. Funny enough, Amy Winfrey actually did some animation work on South Park. The sound design kinda sucks. The music is uninspired and annoying, some actions lack sound effects, the eating sound is absolutely disgusting to me for some reason, and this is the show's idea of a scream. The first episode does a fairly good job of introducing us to the characters such as Vendetta, who makes fiends, go figure, that terrorize everyone, Charlotte, who's oblivious to their fiendiness, that's a word now, and is never harmed by them purely out of dumb luck, and some side characters like Mr. Milk, the cowardly teacher, and the giant hamster that follows Vendetta around and makes grunting sounds. Charlotte and Vendetta work very well off each other. I mean, you got the angry, dangerous person who hates it when things don't go her way, and the dumb, happy character who indirectly causes things to not go the angry person's way, making the angry person want to destroy the happy person. How could that not work well? Now, the web series didn't start out very well. The first episode, like I said earlier, did what it needed to, but the second episode, up until the 5th episode, just aren't that good. The main problem with these episodes, and really with the entire web series, is that the episodes are only 3 to 6 minutes long, which usually isn't enough time to tell much of a story. This makes the pacing of most episodes a little too fast, and a lot of the endings very abrupt. Of course, not every episode is there to tell a story. A lot of them are just there to tell jokes. Some episodes make a lot of jokes in a short amount of time, such as the episode with the substitute teacher who isn't afraid of Vendetta, and the one where Vendetta makes a fiend that shrinks everything that touches it. But some episodes are completely pointless and are pretty much just there to be there, such as the episode where Vendetta forces the school to elect a class president and manipulates the votes to make everyone vote for the person she nominates, and her fiends hurt him or something, making her the class president. Why does she want to be class president anyway? Everyone already does what she wants. Anyway, the short episode times mostly hurt the episodes that drive the story, but most of the story-heavy episodes are multiple parts anyway. I mean, the last episode is split into 3 parts. I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but I will say that it's kind of stupid and doesn't really have the payoff that it needs. I would have loved to see Vendetta lose her ability to make fiends or something. We even get a taste of what the world would be like without Vendetta in the episode where she skips school and Mr. Milk starts singing. Overall, I'd say the web series is pretty good. Not great, kinda flawed, but still, it's pretty good. It has an interesting setup, a good story, and some funny jokes, and if you haven't seen it, you can watch it at makingfiends.com. Alright, now I'm gonna talk about the TV series. The TV series ran for 6 30-minute episodes, or 18 10-minute episodes, because Nickelodeon has been in a continuous loop of finding something from the internet, putting it on TV, and canceling it because it's not SpongeBob since before Fred and Breadwinners. Fred winners. The improvements over the web series are pretty noticeable. The animation is a lot smoother, the sound design is a lot better, and best of all, the episodes are a lot longer and thus not as rushed. Another improvement is Charlotte's character being a little less annoying and having more character value, particularly in episodes like A Fiendish Friend and Toupee. Although in a couple episodes, like Mama Vendetta, she's more annoying than she was in the web series. In that episode, Vendetta makes a statue and demands it to be respected, and Charlotte makes it prettier by vandalizing it. Sure, Vendetta is in the wrong, but two wrongs don't make it right. Maybe I'm just looking too deep into it. Anyway, for the most part, the jokes are actually really funny. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but just trust me, it's a pretty funny show. Charlotte's obliviousness got pretty old at times, but the show as a whole was still pretty funny. Some episodes are remakes of episodes of the web series, others are original. The best remake out of the whole bunch was probably Vegetables, which is a remake of episode 3 of the web series. The screaming vegetables are a lot less annoying, and the song is a lot better. This episode is so good that it made me want to eat a carrot, and I hate carrots. So for the sake of giving a better picture of what the show is like, I'm going to talk about two specific episodes. Toupee, which I think is the best episode of the series, and Parents, which I think is the worst episode of the series. I'll talk about Parents first for the sake of ending on a good note. The story of this episode is that it's parent-teacher night at their school, and Charlotte brings her grandmother because her parents are in a better place up in the sky. But it turns out her parents are astronauts. According to Charlotte's grandmother, anyway. In one of Vendetta's plans to destroy Charlotte, she makes two fiends and tells Charlotte they're her parents and they're back from space for a visit. The fiends try to eat Charlotte, but Charlotte is oblivious and unintentionally dodges their attacks, and they even become emotionally attached to Charlotte. Meanwhile, a song plays in the background about how Charlotte missed her parents for so long and how she's so glad they're back. It tries to be sad while making a sweet moment out of it. Just one problem though, they're not her parents. Charlotte's obliviousness used for a joke can work pretty well, although it's also pretty easy to screw up. But trying to get an actual emotion out of her obliviousness while she's in potential danger, and the fact that they're not her parents but she thinks they are and she's so happy to see them, just makes me really uncomfortable. What if I told you the last time you saw your parents, they weren't actually your parents? They were bears that could have killed you. Wouldn't you be at least a little disturbed by that? Anyway, eventually Vendetta tries to kill the Fiends by shooting them with a spike ball rocket thing or whatever because they're making Charlotte happy. But right as she's about to do that, they get eaten by a whale out of nowhere. How convenient. So she tries to shoot Charlotte with it, she misses, Charlotte sees the whatever it is, and thinks her parents went back into space. What if instead of making a nice moment with the Fiends posing as parents, you made a bunch of jokes with the Fiends playing off the suspense of whether or not Charlotte gets eaten by them, they get eaten where Charlotte could see it, she gets sad, Vendetta's happy, and then suddenly her real parents come back and there's a nice moment. That would have been a much better episode. However, fans of the show have pretty much decided that Charlotte's grandmother made up the whole astronaut thing so that Charlotte wouldn't be sad and her parents are actually dead. I'm not gonna flat out tell you you're wrong, but if her parents are actually dead, then where is Charlotte's grandma in most of the episode? We clearly see that the Fiends are staying in Charlotte's house. If Charlotte's grandma was letting them stay in their house, she's just as oblivious as Charlotte is, therefore thinking they're alive. So there you go. Either Charlotte's parents are alive, or the episode has a huge plot hole. Choose wisely. Anyway, now that I've gotten the worst episode out of the way, the only bad episode really, I'm gonna talk about the best episode of the series, which paints a much better picture of what the whole show is like. The story is that Mr. Milk is too shy to talk to Mrs. Minty, and Charlotte gives Mr. Milk an apple, which he appreciates, making Vendetta want to give him a gift too? What? Vendetta gives him a talking toupee that talks to everyone for him, bypassing his shyness. Later, the toupee tells Mr. Milk he can make all his dreams come true, there's a hilarious musical number, but there's one condition. He has to destroy Charlotte. Now it makes sense why Vendetta gave him the toupee. So now Mr. Milk has to choose whether he wants to let Charlotte live but still be shy, or fulfill his dreams and destroy Charlotte. The suspense builds up very quickly, and when he starts running toward the cliff, you really think he's gonna push Charlotte, but instead he throws the toupee off the cliff. This episode has some really good jokes, intense moments, and even character development, having Mr. Milk actually do something, and this isn't the only episode like that. Also, this episode foreshadowed a whole bunch of nothing because this show only lasted 6 episodes. Making Fiends is a pretty good show that I would recommend checking out. You can watch the web series online, and you can buy the TV series on DVD on Amazon. Unfortunately, despite being a good show, it was cancelled very early on, and that's a shame because this show had a lot of potential. I'd honestly like to see a reboot of the show on a channel that isn't Nickelodeon, since Nick doesn't really give a crap about quality anymore. Anyway, happy Halloween, don't get spooked by a nuke, I don't know. My name is Octopus Joey, bye.
Hey guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and click either of the videos on the screen for more. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channels at youtube.com/octojoey and youtube.com/octojoeylp, and follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/octojoey.